Good weekend, all. Ira Epstein with your financial market wrap-up, and this wrap-up Good weekend, all. Ira Epstein with your financial market wrap-up, and this wrap-up is for the week of Easter. And yep, we are in that Easter weekend, and I'm shooting on April 3rd, 2021, about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Now, for many of you, I have prepared my enhanced Bollinger Band course, and I'll start off this way so you get to see this. What this does is you're going to find that if you've taken one of my charting courses, my main one, or if you understand Bollinger Bands or think you do on your own, I'm going to bring it together with these three factors in a different way than you've ever seen. The idea with them is whether you're looking at a market trying to catch a longer-term trader or a shorter-term one, the odds are that you get frustrated. Why couldn't I stay? Why is the market backing off? Why is it doing this and that? The course has 13 videos, each about 6 to 7 minutes long. I walk you right through the process from beginning to end, but I do not teach you what a Bollinger Band is. I'm not going to teach you what a moving average is. I'm not going to teach you what an oscillator is. I'm going to pick up right at the point where I think you know what those are already, and this takes you to the advanced part of that. For those of you that haven't tried my complete research, I'll throw 2 weeks of that in. If you haven't tried our charting software, I think you might want to, especially our newest version of our QT Market Center, which rocks. It's certainly something to see. How do you get all this? Well, it's simple. All you do is go to our website under the word education. It's all explained there. You can call my staff. They'll work with you as well. So as I was talking about this, we were open for a limited period, and when I say we, the markets were open for a limited period in the Dow, in the, not in the metal markets, but in the currencies with the exception of the dollar index and bonds and notes up until between 7:30 and just after 9 in the morning on Friday. We saw the jobs data. And the jobs data came up with, what, 917,000 new jobs. The average guess was 675,000, but we kept hearing, and it's been on TV, 1 million jobs might have been the number, so you got close to that. This is the first of numbers that we're looking for continual growth on. Now, if you can get a bunch of these in a row, you know, month after month, well, you can make up what you lost in the pandemic, which would be phenomenal. As we look at the chart of the E-mini S&P on a monthly close only, this is called an area chart of just closes. First, the market is trading over the 18-month moving average. The last price is up here, which so far, and we're only in April 3rd, so for the month, this would be an all-time high, but we're not at the close. You'd have to go back last month, and you still would have that if you come back here. So March 31st, beautiful, and you're up a little bit more for the month. You're already up 1.5%. Wow. On a weekly chart, because we did finish off a trading week, you finished up 1.58% at a new all-time high. When you look at the chart action on a weekly basis, and that's what we're looking at only, not the daily charts, you can see how it keeps moving straight on up here. And you've had this pattern since back here in February, after one break where you've made consistent higher lows and higher highs. That's bullish. The market is staying over the 18-week average of closes. It did challenge it one time back here at the beginning of March, and since then the market has run to the upside. So the resistance, well, right here at the upper Bollinger Band. Gee, how do you play that? That's why the enhanced Bollinger Band course. You have embedded reading. You're up against the upper Bollinger Band. The bias is up. Trend up, bias up. You've hit a price objective. I think the pros are taking some money off the table. In the Nasdaq, we had a turnaround this week. If you look at the chart action coming into this week, you had lower highs, a lower low. The market was fighting at the 18-week average. With this past week, you popped through that high, so now you have an uptrend at work. You're back into the higher low, higher high. The resistance, this peak, and the 13,759 level, the upper Bollinger Band. Support, 13,0350, getting back under last week's low, which was 12,609.75. That would be the party pooper. That would end the uptrend. Momentum in the chart, well, you can see it's trying to turn itself right now back to the upside. In the Dow, let's applaud. For those of you that bought the charting course, one of the first trades, and I made mention of it in my reports for you, was off this. Now, this is nothing new, but you had the embedded reading here. It's the exact way that I teach in this enhanced course. Traders would have bought this market, I think on Tuesday or Wednesday, I forgot the exact day, and on this rally, they took some money off the table on Friday, if they followed the recommendation. Will they all work? It's a guarantee they won't. Guarantee. I mean, if you're looking for something that walks on water that's infallible, I don't have it. If you're looking for something that's got a high probability, I'll let you define what high probability means. Is that fair enough? Okay. Higher highs, higher lows, riding that upper Bollinger Band. It's each week trying to come up to it. So you have the embedded reading, bias up, trend up. You've already hit the upper band. You keep hitting it and pulling back. The market is telling you until this game's over, the pros continue to buy on these breaks. I think they pop against that upper Bollinger Band, and they'll keep the process going until the process ends with the lost embedded reading. In the Russell, you don't have these patterns. You have a market that is plain overbought. You lost the embedded reading. You can see you had it lost this week too. So it's 2 weeks in a row. It has to go through the whole process again. That doesn't mean it can't go higher. It's kept the bias up. The market has stayed over the 18-week average, but it has lost that momentum to the upside. Should the market rally, the resistance is up here. Is the market in an uptrend? It is. It is overbought in an uptrend. The target, if it can get up there, would be 24.11 1/4. In the 30-year bond, you have a bearish embedded reading. The trend has been down. You had a bearish crossover that I know I pointed out to you right here. Said when that happens, this market often signaling it wants to go even lower, and that's one of the things that happened with that. So everything's still in the bear camp, but you haven't had one rally away yet from that lower Bollinger Band for the pros to get short on. That's been a difficult task for them. When you look at the 10-year note, you've had these opportunities, but they haven't been very good ones. You've ridden the lower band down with the embedded reading. Everything is still fully go to the bear side in that market. In the dollar index, you now have 2 weeks in a row over the upper Bollinger Band. You only have a 5% chance on this algorithm of staying over it. So 95% of the time it will stay within them. I count each successive week of staying over the Bollinger Band as taking away one of the 5 percentage points. So we've got 2 of them that we've taken out. That leaves 3 points left. So I give the market a 97% chance this week of trying to get under that band. It is overbought in an uptrend. That's all you can say. All right. If it embeds, I get even more bullish. We'll see if that is going to be the case or not. In the eurocurrency, one of the signals that also came about with the enhanced course, another new signal that was done, nothing new that it's just that I'm teaching you what I've been talking about, happened in this currency. Lower highs, lower lows. Like the dollar index, this is the mirror of it. So you finish this week here, and that week was March 26th at 118.09.5, and the 18-day average, the lower Bollinger Band was here. You were underneath that number. Now you're under it again. That's all that I'm pointing out. So it's the flip-flop. Okay, what are the odds of this market staying under that on a weekly basis? 2 weeks in a row under it means 3% chance of doing it. We'll see if that can stay there. In the Canadian dollar, one of the stronger seasonal plays for early April is often the Canadian dollar to the upside. The market's got a pattern of higher lows, higher highs, but it's got divergence. You have momentum pointing down, bias up. I don't like that. Resistance 80.06. In the Japanese yen, this continues with its embedded bearish reading of the slow stochastic. You have the lower highs, lower lows. You might even eventually get the 18-week average to get under the 100-week. You're nowhere near it right now, but something to be looking at. And this currency, why would it go up? I'm not sure the Japanese even want it to. When you look at Bitcoin, you have an embedded reading. The market's got higher lows, higher highs. Now, in the morning subscriber videos, I'm already covering Ethereum. So I need another month or so, and then maybe we'll talk about trades in it. The problem is going to be the margin. The contract's already valued, I think, at $100,000, and the exchanges typically run about 42% margin. Can you believe that? 42,000. So they bring on these smaller contracts, but the price goes up so fast. What can you do? In Brent versus WTI crude oil. So as I look at these markets, they're fighting their battle back here. The market did get up into the 460, 470 differential. It has since pulled back. If you look at Brent on the pullback, you're not in a trend. You have a higher high, a lower low. Brent was not open, nor was WT on Friday. So we'll see when the markets come back how they feel about the jobs data and what that might mean for them. I don't like that the market lost the embedded reading, because that often leads to price in the 18-day average making a run at each other. The daily chart will run that more than the weekly, but it is something I always look at. I have the same problem in WTI. As much as the trend is up, this would keep me, that embedded reading that has been lost on a weekly chart, from wanting to be an aggressive buyer. I like gasoline. It kept the embedded reading. It tried to lose it, but it kept it. So the trend is still up. Until that's lost, why not up here? You know, when my wife comes home and she's telling me gasoline, her friends are telling her it might go to $6 a gallon. Uh-oh. I'm not saying it will, but I go, uh-oh. That's like if you go and you get one of the services done, and the people that come to your house, they're telling you, oh, I made a fortune in Bitcoin. I did this or that. Uh-oh. It's always a problem. Remember that. So you put it all together, interesting time in the market. We'll see what it offers. We get back to normal trading now, which I love. And you have yourselves a great Easter. I'll see you all come Monday.